And we are live.
Good evening.
Good evening. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, I'm really good. Thanks so much. How are you?
I had a lovely afternoon. I got bars run.
Mhm. Me too.
So we are going to talk about something that's it's the hot topic in access consciousness right now, and it's the topic of autonomy, you know? And if you're watching this and you're like, I'm not sure what this autonomy thing is, it's basically where you're doing separation based on a point of view instead of infinite being and infinite receiving. And I'm going to say, try autonomy reduces everything to weighing and measuring and figuring out instead of just asking and receiving and knowing that there's an infinite universe and that you are supported to have everything in that infinite universe. And the only thing that stops you having anything is your point of view.
Yeah, and I personally I'm very grateful for this autonomy topic that's coming up. And like when I first heard it, I was like, oh, like this is not for me. Like I don't do autonomy, and I don't dismiss it. And like actually, and very quickly, like I know like if I go like oh like this is not for me, like I know actually that's just so big in my life that I don't even see it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, like universe, like show me like where I am doing autonomy, and I'm so grateful to see all of those places that I decided the only way that I can have me is to separate from everyone and everything, and that means that I have my way. So that means I am being me, and I had like so many conclusions, and like one of the things like with autonomy, like when I was choosing from that space of separation from everyone and everything, I was not able to receive the contribution that they could be for me. And
Or that
to,
you could be for them.
yeah. And like then I was like, wow, like actually I am limiting so much of what is possible. And I was like, okay, like what would it take for me to actually start changing this? So like if you are out there and you are maybe struggling with like not receiving, or yeah, actually like not receiving from anyone or everything, and like that is like one of my, like one of the things that I'm still like working on. Like I have been like using the tools of access consciousness like for 6 years now, and still like I meet myself in those places that I decided that it's wrong to receive. I shouldn't be receiving. I shouldn't be getting any support. Like I have to do it all by myself, and that's the right way. Like how many of you that out there actually have that point of view that you have to do everything by yourself? And like what if that's not true? Like what if there is a different possibility?
Well, I know that I'm going to say I've given up a lot of trying to do it by myself, and I still have some of that in my living for sure. And since giving up that, you know, in in certain areas in business in creation, and even, in my daily living, I've noticed that my life gets way more ease. And for me, try the places that I'm doing autonomy is where my life is hard. You know, that's where my life is hard, difficult. And there's a sense of like anywhere that I'm doing righteousness, there's this sense of stuck and separation. And I don't like to be separated. It's not fun for me to be separated from awareness and from the universe. And the thing, the what we're looking to create with Access, X-Men, and Autonomy Call is X-Men is we coined, it was Gary Douglas coined the term X-Men because it's for the ones that are extreme humanoid, highly sensitive to energies, highly aware, call us autistic, ADD, OCD, and some people might not even be labeled undiagnosed. And so X-Men function from communion with every molecule in the universe. Every molecule in the universe we're connected to. And the moment that I go to one point of view, I disconnect what I can receive from that molecule. And I'm in the UK at the moment, and I was looking at like these beautiful houses, and I was like, I'd like to have one of those houses. And I
Mm.
could sense that I would go into autonomy. Like, this is what financial autonomy, because we'll cover financial autonomy, relationship autonomy. And what I was looking at is where I go into the linearity of this is what I have to do to get, instead of I'm choosing this, and the choice to have it is what will actually create it. You know, that choice to have it will be the, I'm going to say, the motivating choice for me to create that, you know?
And
So
actually
yeah,
allowing yourself to like receive from everything around you, like because I'm very grateful for access consciousness in that ways because like it like one of the targets of access is actually like it educates you to ask questions that leads to more possibilities instead of leads to a conclusion. And like I had so many conclusions, especially around money. Like if I want to actualize something in my life, I would rightly go to the competition of okay, like I have to earn this much amount of money, I have to work this much hard, and like it would all about like what I have to do
do.
and what I have to get instead of asking, oh, like what I can choose here, like what I can be, like who can I contribute to, what I can receive that will allow me to actualize this with total ease. And it would start to actually like turn the wheels that was like stuck like for so long, and actually it would just start to move and things would start to show up in my life in a way that I no way that I could like linearly figure out. And like that's the beauty. Like you don't have to know how. Like how is not your job. It's the universe's job. Your job is to ask and then like
And then
to
listen to receive the possibilities, because the universe is willing to gift you everything. But when you're in that autonomous point of view, you're not willing for the abundant universe to support you and contribute you. And I have met myself in places where I'm doing personality. In other words, this is Rachel, here's the Irish girl, here's where you came from, here's the amount of money, all this definition, which is all autonomy. And all of that stops me receiving what is truly available to me. And that's where I'm being mean with myself, where I'm not willing to allow the abundant universe. The universe is a banquet, and we have the keys to the kingdom. And I know for me, I act as if I'm locked out of that kingdom when I'm in autonomy.
Yeah, and like for me, like when I'm willing to let go of all of those autonomous entrainment, because I personally was entrained to be
Yeah.
self-sufficient and like right and not rely on anybody. Like if you are like getting help, or if it's actually if you're choosing the easy way, like that would one of the things that I was hardly entrained to, like there is no value of what you are doing. And like I would always like invited or forced to choose like what was hard, like what was not like actually what was I not capable of. And like as though like if I can achieve that, like that would be the value, but it
Wow.
never worked for me. And like I'm like yeah, I'm saying I know I'm saying like a couple of times, but I'm really like super grateful for the tools of access consciousness because like they like showed me like what if like not choosing what's hard and what's not heavy, it's going to change the world. Like what if actually choosing what's light for you, what's joyful for you, what expands your life would change your life, and not only that, like would change everyone around you and actually change the world. And like for me that was like super light,
Mm.
expansive.
Yeah. And also what I adore about the X-Men classes is you guys start to look at your natural capacities as a being, you know. You know me, I have a natural capacity to talk to people. It's just the way I am. I would like talk to anyone. It's just one of these capacities, abilities, and yet I would look to do what was difficult instead of follow the what I'm naturally great at, you know.
Mm.
Yeah, and so we will talk about capacities, we will talk about autonomy, and we're going to facilitate the call over 2 evenings. I'm really enthusiastic to see what we will create with this call. Choice creates, folks, you know. And I'm just excited to see what we can support in the conversations, the questions, and what this call can facilitate in the universe. And what would it take for it to create more consciousness, of you? Like, you get more of you on these calls. So we would love to invite you, X-Men and Autonomy.
Mm.
And is the 29th and the 30th, or the 29th?
29th and the 30th, and it is 8 p.m. to 9:15 Central European time. So that's for Europe, and we'll be popping the link into comments so you can actually go to the website and check what exactly time is it for you if you're at any different part of the world. And like, I'm actually very excited. Hey, and Sinam even shared it already. Thank you so much, Sinam. Um,
Just thank you, Sinem. Yeah.
yeah, and I'm actually very like excited for this call to like really like look at like what else is possible and like what point of views that we can change that we bought that real and true and doesn't work for us anymore.
And the funny thing is, every time I add more space to anything, like today, just by getting my bars run, I added way more space to my world, and I'm like more joyful and I'm enthusiastic. I just adore when you add space, which X-Men love, space, energy, space, and consciousness. I just adore seeing then what more receiving can actually be allowed. So we invite you, and yeah, I'm looking forward to facilitating with you and being on with you. Yes.
Yeah, me too. I'm very excited and can't wait to see everybody on the call that is choosing to join as well.
Okay. Bye,
Bye.
everyone. Hope this conversation contributed to you and what else is possible beyond anything we have ever known. Ciao.
Mm.
Oh, oh.
Bye.
Bye.